Hello, everyone, and welcome to Final Show. I'm John, the executive producer here, and I've just got a few pre-show notes for you. First of all, I want to let everybody know that our addresses have changed. Our Twitch channel has changed from Senstaku to twitch.tv/FinalShowFilms, and our YouTube channel has also changed to youtube.com/FinalShowFilms. Next, we want to thank our $20 tier supporters on Patreon, which is patreon.com/FFilms, by the way, if you want to go throw a couple bucks our way. That's going to be Cat, Waterflame, Antitonic, Samantha Bates, and Maureen Montee. Thank you guys for that. Also, our website is in the process of getting updated, so go take a look at finalshowfilms.com. We've got Mara and Jeremy are working on updating all of our stuff there, making it look nice and like a modern website, and frankly, they know what they're doing far better than I or Austin ever did. So if you want to check out the things that are changing over there, you go do that. Follow us on Twitter at Final Show Films for updates for all future things, including things that are going on with our website and going on with the Patreon page, and things that are going on live as we stream them, as well as our podcasts and everything else. So thank you very much for watching. Y'all have a good day. And we're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Star Wars Afterlight Skies. I am Aaron, I'm the GM, and I need to roll that D100 that I sometimes forget to roll. You guys are actually just about not fine. You know what? I'll cover that in the intro. Jeremy is probably laughing about something unrelated, but I choose to interpret it as there's a Hitman reference.
Entirely unrelated.
Yeah. I rolled the number 47, and I was just discovering that you can feed people to the hippo.
Oh,
The hippo is a garbage disposal.
Well,
and
then.
For those who haven't played Hitman 2, that doesn't make a ton of sense.
I feel like Aki Torres just got a pet rancor.
Anyway.
Rancors are not really hippos, but okay.
No, but they are things in Star Wars that you can feed people to.
I mean, you could also go with
there's also those racing hippos from the new movie.
or a pet, a pet crate dragon or something like that.
Oh, Aki has a lot of pets. She just doesn't bring them on vacation.
Well, that's disappointing.
They're at home with the pet sitter. You'll meet them eventually, maybe. No, Rancors are a pain to transport. But we're going to actually introduce our characters, starting with William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Helix, an HK-53 assassination droid.
And John?
I'm John, and I'm playing Ares Artinos, a Mandalorian mercenary soldier.
Also, I rolled 2 light side on the Destiny.
Oh, also, I also rolled 2 light side on the Destiny. 4-0, yeah!
Don't worry, I'll fix that.
Roll 4 dark side somehow.
Jeremy?
Yeah, I'm Jeremy. I'm Lux. I am playing Jeremy. I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Lux, Zeltron, Slicer / Shadow Sentinel /
stuff.
/
I mean, Lux is a Zeltron. Lux could be playing Jeremy.
She plays everybody else. Why not?
I like the idea that Lux just has a large top hat and curly hair covering her face now.
And I got 1 dark side. All right, get 3 and even us out, Kat.
Yeah, sure. All right. I'm Kat. I'm playing Powder, the medical droid, surgical droid, whatever droid. I got us 2 more light. Sorry.
Hey! 6 to 1.
Okay. we're gonna need all those
You're
lights.
totally going to need them.
Yes,
yeah.
you are. Because last time on Afterlight Skies, things started to get more tense. And as the party explored the city, Ares decided that not disrupting the eggshells that the egomaniac crazy lady of the Empire had left was pretty fun and almost got eaten by a trap, except for he's the one person who has a jetpack.
And Dama.
So Ares did not become little disposable bits of human on the splat of sharp razors, but also all of the city's alarms went off. There was an extended conversation between Lux, the party's face hacker and kind of commander, at least for the beating the Empire part of this mission, and Aki Taurus, complicated member of the upper echelon, a vice admiral of the Empire, who's the occupying authority on this planet.
That is definitely a word that can be used to describe Akitoris.
But as they delve into the results of Project Titania and the fate of one of their former crew members' home, at about the equivalent of 4 a.m., they have plans to attend a morning meeting in the town. Lux, your communication notifier, the thing you would have set up for things that are important that happen while you sleep, whatever that looks like for you, would just blink.
Oh, is our friend on planet?
Rolling over, scrolling through that.
Yeah.
Seems like he's arriving just about now.
All right. Do I know where?
You can make an educated guess that he's arriving somewhere in the shipyard, because that's where he is definitely arriving from off planet.
Okay.
But this is just a confirmation receipt from the Shaper. It's not exact details on his location.
How much time do we have before?
Maybe 3 hours, and you know the city is on high alert. Or town.
Fine. All right. Let's see how this goes. This could blow everything up entirely. But why the fuck not? It's not like it's the end game or anything. End game. Relevant word for the day. For un-Star Wars related reasons.
No spoilers, any of you. Sorry.
No spoilers. Just the trailer doesn't show anything. It's awesome. It's amazing. Everybody see the Avengers Endgame trailer. Anyways, I am going to...
I'll just have it playing sort of in the middle of the screen, just underneath Aaron.
I deeply apologize to all of our viewers if that happens, but I'm not checking.
I mean, I don't I would then apologize to all of us, because nobody would be paying attention to the game. They would just be watching the trailer over and over and over again.
That's also fair. And also, let's not get a copyright strike for something like that. That seems like a really bad place to get one.
No, valid point. No, I get up. Yeah, I suppose I should. I suppose delivering this kind of information probably is best done wearing something. So I'll put on something and go.
I mean, it depends on what result you want.
I'm going to go find Ares.
Okay. Ares' room is always easy enough to find. There's like weaponry hanging up. It's very dramatic.
Yep. Or the equivalent deedly sound.
Aries, there's a sort of metallic clanging knock on your door.
Yeah, she just walked up with a wrench and it was like bang, bang,
Well,
bang.
it's a Star Wars metal door. They make a specific sound.
Door opens.
What's up?
Me?
Yes, you are. How you feeling?
Like I want to go kill some stormtroopers?
Okay. Would you say that you are particularly and invariably focused on that at the moment?
I mean, as focused as I ever get on killing stormtroopers.
Okay. So we should get a drink. You want a drink? Let's go get a drink.
I grab the bottle from my nightstand and hold it out.
Oh. Oh yeah. Okay. Fair enough. He grabs it, takes a drink, hands it over.
I take a drink.
Good. Thank you. So I have good news and news that might make you want to shoot me.
Well, let's go with the good news first.
Okay. The good news is I have absolute confirmation, as close as I can at this point, that your quarry is here.
That is good news.
The bad news is you can't go get him yet.
That is
because
bad
we
news.
have stormtroopers to shoot. And if we go after him now, that's going to be a huge. That's going to throw a huge. You can see where that throws.
Yeah. The wrench you used to knock on my door, it gets thrown into plans. Yes, correct.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's fine, so long as he stays on the planet.
I don't see any reason why he wouldn't.
I mean, when news gets out that stormtroopers are being murdered in large numbers, that might be a reason.
Oh no, that's gonna be fine. That's not a concern. That's the second part of why you might want to shoot me. So I have to come clean a little bit with you. Yarrick wasn't coming here originally. Yarrick was escaping as near as he could. I needed you here. So I engineered it. I massaged the story a little bit. And then, through somebody else, hired Yarrick to come here and help with the rebellion.
You are very clever.
Thank you. End result, you're still getting what you want.
Then I'm happy.
Perfect. I wanted that out in the open before any of this shit went down. I believe in transparency once it's time to be transparent, which is not during the lying period.
I can appreciate that.
All right.
Okay.
So long as at some point between now and us leaving, Yarrick is between me and a target, that'll work out just fine.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine. By the way, you can't use all of the frag grenades on him.
I only need about 50.
That's fine. That'll be. We will have that many. I did promise about half of what we have.
That's fine.
To the person who got him here.
So long as they go to a good and loving home.
I mean,
a good and loving explosion.
I want
it's
the person.
Like you really want to vet how much that person is going to care about them and use them properly.
I don't want to give grenades to somebody who's just going to disarm them. Is all I'm saying.
They're going to they're going to the Shaper.
I don't know how that that doesn't really.
I think that was right. Isn't that who I made the deal with?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The Shaper was the person.
I know it's been like 6 weeks at this point since I made.
That's entirely fair.
It was either the Shaper or that rebellion chick. One of the two.
No, Tiara was the one who asked you to not bother with it because
That's
she
right.
she needed him.
I mean,
essentially.
Hope she got good use out of him.
You redirected him.
Well,
yes. And once you've got this Yarick thing settled, and, you know, we've fucked over the Empire here, there might be regular work for you if you want it, because Yarick will no longer be under the rebellion's employ.
fair enough, fair enough.
That's not why they needed him, but
I know.
okay.
But he had information, and I get that. But he was also an asset.
He was also a Mandalorian. Yeah, that's fair.
So unless that conversation's going to go anywhere else, it occurs to me, by which I mean I checked and I just forgot to do this. Lux, you hacked a security bot last time and got a basic map of a location presumably run by the Empire and the droid's route through it. I didn't realize you hadn't seen the map attached to that. So, yeah. There you go.
Oh, there's a map. Okay. Where's roll tray?
Oh,
The places. Sorry, Kat, if it doesn't work. I think I cleared this with you, but it was months ago.
It'll be okay eventually.
I just realized that I should probably not have a green line. I will
Okay.
recolor that line. Yeah, so the line that is slowly turning red is that droid route and the rest of it is what the droid's internal brain knew about the layout of the complex to navigate it. The areas that have a slightly darker blue square over them aren't non-existent. They're just places the droid knows are there, but doesn't know what's under or doesn't need to be able to navigate to.
Okay.
I've seen this map before.
It's not that place.
Not Ares hasn't seen this map before. I, the player, have seen this map before.
I'm sorry, clarify for me again. What
Sure.
is the red line exactly?
So you were harvesting one of those squid drones.
Right.
And the red line is that the two dots are where the droid enters and docks.
Okay.
And those are the routes it's programmed to take
Okay.
through the facility.
Okay.
Which are information that would have been really fundamental to what you scavenged, but might not actually matter to you in a practical sense. Does that make sense?
Mostly, yeah.
Sort of layout.
Yep. Okay.
It's a cool looking map though.
The badass
Yep.
map.
It looks like it's glowing and I love it.
These maps are just fantastic and they're Star Wars, but they're from something else.
I know what they're from.
I feel like I recognize this map, but I don't know.
You
if I-
probably do.
I am intimately familiar with this particular layout.
I have no idea, so there we go.
Is it one of the KOTOR games?
Yes.
Okay. Is it the mining facility at the start of 2?
No.
Okay. I don't remember where it's at, where it's from then.
This is from Tor. It's from the Old Republic.
Okay.
It's
Just looking at the map, I'm getting flashbacks to running through it.
sorry. So that's just something that I wanted to clarify that you had found and I didn't remember to.
Okay.
I can pull you back to it at any point that you need, but
Okay. Cool.
Cool.
That's information that we
just
have.
for your memory as you presumably head back to sleep.
You get
Yep.
that life flashing before your eyes moment, but for whatever reason, it's just that map.
That's mean.
It's
More like
Don't know.
Oh yeah, I did that yesterday. It was probably the least important thing I did yesterday. Yeah. But the next morning, you awaken / stop charging. Helix, you meet up with Jez and give her some instructions about her part in this whole ordeal.
Also, retrieve her scattergun.
Yeah.
Because I might need that if situations get hairier than expected.
She will inform you that. Sorry, go ahead.
I am throughout the ship. You will probably hear as I am doing maintenance on my arm and whistling. I'm walking on sunshine.
Okay. As she hands that over to you, she'll also inform you that you gave her some leave to wander around, and I took the liberty to have the ability to remotely explode some of the fancier looking mining equipment.
Commendation. Well done. That will come in very handy.
I don't know if they're ever going to drag it anywhere, but right now it's mostly outside the mines thanks to the cave-ins that I'm assuming I can attribute.
Instruction. If we have need of a diversion, I will send a signal to you to detonate the mining equipment.
Can do. I'll also let you know if it moves. Seems unlikely, but...
Acknowledgement. Acknowledged.
Have fun, boss. Yeah.
As Helix will spend the rest of the day wondering what he could have said other than acknowledged after acknowledgement.
Yep. You gave her like 3 days and basically carte blanche fuck with the Empire, so.
You know? I'm cool with it.
Yeah. So that's another resource at your disposal. It's a cloudy day as you make your way, at least some of you hanging to a throng of crowd, mostly, actually, aside from, I believe, Lux and Powder, entirely Zabraki, he headed towards the center of town. It seems that everyone, or nearly everyone, has received this instruction to head to town, and that for the moment complying is what the vast majority have chosen to do. Sorry, John.
All right, Helix, so do we want rooftops or alleyways?
Recommendation. My skill set is best suited from a high vantage with a good view, so I would go for rooftops.
I mean, I've got a good range. I could probably do with a rooftop. Also, then I can jet if I need to. Right, let's find ourselves a rooftop with a nice connected alleyway so that we're not seen climbing up.
Yep. That part is probably easy enough. You've scoped out the city a few times now, and both of you would have been looking for that. But I want you just to both make me difficulty 2 stealth checks to see how noticed you may or may not be on your way there.
Well, I have 3 boost die for this because I'm a stalker.
I have no boost die. I'm just naturally stealthy.
No one's naturally stealthy as Helix is.
But you're not naturally stealthy. You're designed to be stealthy. Success, advantage, and a triumph.
5 successes and 3 advantages.
So both of you achieve an exceptional success, which means that you are pretty silent. If your allies are trying to keep track of you, they probably can because they know you fairly well, but it's none of the common people around are going to automatically or without very carefully looking pick up on you. Fortunately, the rooftops are especially easy when everyone is going the same direction. So most of the guards that even might be stationed on the rooftops are watching that sort of procession and flood of people into the area surrounding the town square. Off of the town square, there's a few major streets, and those are now filled pretty densely with throngs of people. The town square itself, and Lux and Powder, this would be your first time seeing this, has fallen away. Beneath it are these interlocking metal fangs that clearly turn to create sort of a churning shredder garbage disposal out of the entire center of the square. You can see the remnants of a few eggshells still around, and most notably on the steel churning spikes that drown out almost any conversations unless you're directly next to someone. And there is the amount of blood that would indicate probably 1 or 2 full-grown people having, you can imagine what happened to them.
Someone got thrown into the pit.
There are some vague efforts at conversation around you, but mostly it's impossible to hear each other. It's very challenging to hear each other, and everyone is quite worried and scared. Is there anything you want to do or figure out before things start out?
Does anybody around look particularly injured in any way, shape, or form?
Make me a medicine check.
Medicine. What difficulty?
1.
Really? 5 advantage.
No successes and 5 advantages. Yes and no. Most of what you can pick up what's wrong with the people that there's something wrong with.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the problem. It's just that the vast majority of people who have lived in fairly harsh conditions on a barely terraformed planet with poor nutrition and working in mines that might not be the safest mines even before the Empire got here. There's a guy whose arm is not necessarily gangrenous, but definitely was never properly disinfected when he probably lost it a few years ago. There's a woman who's clearly not at, who's clearly not had enough to eat. There's that sort of variety of stuff.
Right.
Just sort of all around. There's nothing that quite stands out or nothing that would be abnormal.
And there's nothing.
But at the same time, you can't pick out what particularly injured would be.
Okay. And I'll just try and stick with Lux as much as possible.
Okay.
And I'm being incognito in, the it's fucking Star Wars. So I'm in the hooded robe thing, moving quietly through the crowd until the appropriate moment.
The one person in a hood in the entire
that
crowd.
Nobody sees because it's fucking Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I feel like that should be appropriate justification.
It is absolutely appropriate justification for you to make that stealth roll. How well you roll on this difficulty 2 stealth roll with a setback die, not because you're wearing a hood, but because if anyone sees under that hood, you are very distinct from the populace around you.
That's why I'm wearing the hood. There are
You
not
understand what I mean.
Here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. No,
William, mute your phone.
Yeah. Keep deciding they want to text me.
Why is that your text tone?
That will determine how well
It's easy to notice.
your disguise is working, because it's absolutely setting appropriate. It just varies how long that works for.
All right, so I am using my sense danger ability.
Cool.
Once per game session, the character may remove 2 setback dice from any one skill check.
All right, we're spending that early.
Yeah, because if it goes bad here, it's not going to get better.
Mhm.
Not wrong.
All right, difficulty 2, and what the hell? Let's use a light side point.
I love how you're also pumping a light side point into this. Like, let's just use all the things we got. Why
2
not?
successes.
All right. Powder, are you trying to be at all subtle? You are also distinctly unlike anyone else in this crowd.
Right.
Powder's also in a hood.
That's
Sorry, I just had this image of Powder trying to be Pink Panther. Don't mind me. No, I don't think I'm gonna try and be like subtle. But I'm more just trying not to be obvious. Does that make sense? Like I'm not trying to like stealth through, but I'm not trying to be like, can I help you? Can I help you?
Trying to draw attention to yourself, but you're not doing anything to hide within the crowd.
Right. Because I'm a big freaking droid. I mean, like I can't really hide much.
So, Lux, you're doing fairly well, but you are noticing that behind you, sort of a circle, you are almost pressed into the crowd a bit more by this circle of everyone giving Powder a fairly wide berth. There seems to be some level of silent acknowledgement that there's a droid here that we don't recognize. We're going to give that some space and it definitely a level of wariness. You may even notice, if you're paying attention, a few of the younger people assembled being sort of shooed off by the parents accompanying them, presumably to relatives standing further away from the potential anomaly.
I mean, it's okay if they're a little bit wary. Is just drawing attention of those in positions of oppressive
Looking up
authority.
to the roof mounted and just generally along the streets guards, none of them seem to be giving Powder too much attention. However, it's definitely obvious enough to them because there's a sort of, this is a packed crowd, and you know when there's that one person in the crowd that no one wants to stand directly next to, and there's like a little bubble in the crowd that moves with the person?
Mm-hmm.
There's that happening around Powder.
Okay.
But that means they're paying attention to the droid walking through and not anybody else.
Absolutely true. I can still keep up sort of just past that circle.
Yep.
Still sort of in the crowd.
It's almost helpful because no one's noticing you at the moment. So you're just sort of being pushed through this crowd to where the bubble has formed.
So, threat assessment. The guards that are on rooftops. Are there any groups of guards that are on rooftops that particularly stand out? Like, is there a big fuck-off mounted turret somewhere, for instance?
I'm gonna make this a knowledge, what is it called? Knowledge warfare roll.
My assumption here is that Helix and I are trying to find a good spot to perch, and replacing a guard set would probably be a good thing to do.
Yeah. Knowledge warfare difficulty 3.
Knowledge warfare difficulty 3. It's a knowledge roll. So I'm going to use a light side point to upgrade that. Because knowledge is not my thing. A success and a threat.
There are units of 2 guards each stationed at all of the rooftops that sort of intersect with the town circle, and one sort of rooftop back along those street lines. Every guard unit is in view range of 2 other guard units, and they do seem to be keeping some level of eye on each other. They're all wearing stormtrooper armor that seems to have specific insignias relevant to their, I can't think of the word, platoon.
Yeah.
Squad.
Yeah, they're being the number that they are.
Yeah.
Stereotypically, the 501st, whatever.
Yeah, their group.
Their
Yes.
group.
I think the word is-
Specifically, they've got a sort of black coloring to their flares, which you don't know enough about Imperial insignias to know what that would signify as opposed to a different color.
So I will relay that information to Helix. Whom I'm assuming we are traveling together because so we have each other's back. So what do you think? It'd be difficult to take one of them out without the others noticing if they're checking in on each other. At least right now. Once their attention's been drawn, perhaps it'll be easier, but... Or would you rather set up a little bit further away so we have a line of sight on all of them instead?
Recommendation. Generally speaking, once fighting begins, most forms of communication will go out the window, but while they are performing regular checkups, causing any disruption to that will cause fighting to break out sooner than expected. I would suggest we cause as little disturbance as possible until it's time to make things explode.
So how about we set up in the top floor rather than on the roof, underneath one of these groups?
Acknowledgement. That seems like a wise idea.
Did any of that just once again to clarify? Are any of them mounted? Are any of them hardened positions? Like have defenses in place, or are they all just 2 guys standing on a roof with a rifle?
With multiple rifles between them.
Yeah,
but it seems like these are troops. You don't see any entrenchments. However, given your previous experience with this town square, it would be reasonable for you to guess that things could be concealed either within the buildings themselves or just something the guards happen to be holding that you can't see from your angle.
Deployable cover is a thing that they might have on them.
Yep. So I'm thinking probably one of these groups that has the best view on the others, sort of a centralized one, so we can pop up, just rain chaos in a circle.
Caution. The problem with a centralized location is it also means that everyone can fire at us from multiple different directions.
That's true. What are you thinking then?
Suggestion. Perhaps one of the outliers, relying on length of weapon reach rather than positioning, gives us a slight disadvantage in terms of offensive capability, but also renders us less likely to be shot in the back.
Fair enough. Let's find... So we're finding one of the guards that's further out than the rest. One of the guard groups that are further out than the rest. We want to set up on the top floor, basically underneath them immediately.
Sure. I'll hold your stealth roll for that. Just to give you guys a general visualization, there's no tokens on it, of the rough setup of the square.
And I brought 2 frag grenades. Just because I can't carry a lot right now with my full kit, or I'd be overencumbered.
Be aware of what those can do if explosives get thrown at you.
Yep.
Yeah.
My intention is if we're able to get set up without being spotted, I want to affix these grenades to the roof underneath the guards.
Mm-hmm.
So that...
I'm gonna make you make a skullduggery roll if you want to do that silently, though you can get into position.
I will offer them to Helix to see if Helix might be better at this than I am.
The skullduggery roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not bad at skullduggery. I'm not great at it, but
I have
a yellow and a green.
Difficulty 3 as
I have 2 green.
arming explosives below trained soldiers. And because these are not inherently subtle explosives or inherently explosives that are designed to be set, I'm going to say there's a setback die.
I will use a light side point to upgrade our roll. Just because it's probably useful. 2 failures, but an advantage.
All right.
Let's see what happened.
Helix, you start sort of trying to get these to stay up. The problem you're running into is that you don't have anything that can function as adhesive.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
fair.
need to like hook them in somewhere in such a way that you can pull the pins, but also not be in the blast radius. And as you're sort of calculating the best way to do that, understanding this is not necessarily your expertise, and you usually have more time to gather resources when you plan something like this. As you're sort of thinking about it, those, for all of you, those metal grinding sounds halt, and the sudden lack of sound draws the breath of sound out of the crowd as they're all looking around. Over the town square, somewhat towards the backmost building that's the repurposed town hall, one of those floating platforms you more stereotypically see in Senate rooms and other spaces of official capacity. He comes to float over the no longer churning metal teeth that make up the town center. Aki stands in what almost would look like a mimicry of, or the Halloween store costume sexy variant of an Imperial officer's uniform. The top is mostly right, except for a strangely off collar, but she pairs it with a mini skirt as opposed to the more acceptable pants.
Man, if I didn't hate this woman.
What problem do you have with mini skirts?
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. If I
didn't hate this woman.
Yeah.
If this is Lux saying quietly, man, if I didn't hate this woman.
Oh, okay.
The implication being otherwise.
I'm gonna try and show this to everyone as opposed to apparently just showed it to Cody previously. That may have pinged it up on your screen, may not have.
Yep.
There are true droids floating at her side that none of you would recognize the spec of. They look almost like half of a crab floating sideways. You can see them in the image for the players.
Look assassin-y to me.
Yeah, they look pretty dangerous and murdery. Her hair is done up, but not in such a way that would actually get at its notable length out of machinery that it could get caught in. As she sort of steps forward. Hello, everyone. I like to be honest when I can. I find that it fosters trust in me and in the Empire as a whole, which we all love to be a part of. I'll admit, I spent last night having some tough conversations with people that I trust very much and people that don't always agree with me. And they made me realize some things that I hadn't thought about. And I want to be honest with you, and I want to share with you my struggles, and I want you to understand the position that I am in, and I want to understand the position you're in. I gave an order that might have seemed silly, but was here to make sure that you would trust me. And it seems like someone didn't. And because they didn't believe what I was telling them, she gestures down. There was an unfortunate incident that took place, that took the life of one of the leaders of this community that I now consider to be my community, as I have stepped in to help lead this colony in its role within the empire. When I say something or even just expect something, I want you all to understand that I do it for good reason and out of care for you. And she sort of holds her hands together for a moment. The Empire would like to extend its condolences to the family. We will be reaching out with reconciliation money to those who unfortunately died in this incident. But this is a great time for us as a community to come together in our loyalty and truly understand that the rules are here to protect us. To that end, and to the end of honesty to this entire community, and she'll actually sort of like sit down, dangling her high-heeled boots over the edge of the platform.
That's about the point that I'll speak up.
Okay.
Admiral Taurus, the last thing you should ever be speaking about is the Empire's care for these people or your honesty.
That's what this morning
They
is
step
about.
forward, do the dramatic pullback. And the cloak just completely comes off.
Yeah.
And it's just standard, you know.
Meanwhile, in the building,
there's a sort of ripple of the crowd parting where you are.
in the building where Helix and Ares are, Helix sort of like grabs the shotgun that he's got and dramatically cocks it as he prepares for a fight.
I just point my gun at the ceiling since we weren't able to set
you
the
don't
grenades.
have time to set up those grenades, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just point my gun at the ceiling where the guards are and wait.
All right.
So there, out of character, to clarify, it looks like there were 2 people that were killed, right?
It looks like either 1 or 2. Okay. It really just looks like a blood stain.
Okay.
Presumably, either she found some blood and put it there, or she just put someone through the shredder.
Yeah. Now, I will admit I haven't spent as much time, I would say, in the vicinity of these people, because I don't think anybody rational would say that you spent time with them as much as you spent time lording over them. But I haven't spent as much time in the vicinity of these people as you do. But from what I've seen, they seem to be a very smart, respectable people. And thus, I don't think anybody here or I would hope that they don't think what happened here and what the things that you do, the rules you stake down, are anything more than a transparent attempt to cow them under your authority.
I'm here today to assure that's not the case, and to hear any complaints that the people, you included, Lux, have.
You're a psychotic bitch who is tormenting these people and impressing your will upon them for the Empire's purposes, making them live in fear every minute of their lives. And that's wrong. You have killed at least one. I'm curious, because it's hard for me to tell after what you did. 1, 2, how many? You can answer now.
Only one person was caught in the unfortunate incident last night.
That's fortunate for you. I raise my hand and snap.
Okay. I mean, you two see that. What are you doing?
Assuming that that's a signal,
Yes.
I fire through the ceiling at the 2 guards above me.
Okay. I'm going to say firing through buildings is not really something that I could find mechanics for. So what we're gonna do is we're going to say that you automatically hit, are unable to attain additional successes or a crit. And there's a certain amount of damage that you will need to reach to break through, at which point you'll probably hit their legs unless they've moved.
So I'm auto-firing. So I'm basically rolling for advantages to see if I can trigger auto-fire more than once.
Sure, fair enough.
So it's short range, so it's difficulty 1. It's the ceiling above me.
Yeah.
Up to difficulty 2 for triggering auto-fire. And blam. I will trigger auto-fire again, so that's 30 damage.
All right. So laser bolts usually dent concrete. They don't usually break it, especially something that's designed to be a retaining floor for the top of a building.
But if you use enough.
But if you use enough, if you're Ares and you don't really care about the fact that they're going to probably fall onto you along with all that concrete, Ares, all of you hear the sort of tear up of a heavy blaster, those deep thudding sounds, and the sounds of something cracking and collapsing. Let's say roughly here, a ways back from the thing as Lux makes her move.
Snap! Explosion!
They don't have to be dead. We just have to hear the explosion and them not immediately radio. It's okay. We're fine, boss.
I'm assuming Helix will take care of them if they survive the fall.
Yeah, I was about to say, if they fall and aren't dead, I have a shotgun waiting.
Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna say that between a 1-story fall and Helix's shotgun, if you want them dead, they're dead. And also say that you both take 4 strain damage as falling concrete pelts you unavoidably.
My armor resists it.
Okay.
Ping, 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 ping.
So after the loud explosion-y sounds,
It was probably a laser light show too, as lasers shot up into the sky.
Yeah.
Admiral, I can't turn back time and make these people, this person, be alive again. However, every one you take from these people, I'll be taking more than one from you.
All right. I understand.
Your options are get off this planet, or I will take your corpse off of it.
I mentioned I had a lot of hard conversations last night.
Mm-hmm.
One of my, I really don't know if I can call him a friend. I think he hates me. Not you. I understand that you also hate me. More than one person can do that.
Oh, Aki, I don't hate you. I pity you. You
Okay.
know,
Y-
I
yeah.
used to be you. You're baby me.
I've heard that way too many times. Okay. So I have this, let's call him a coworker.
Mm-hmm.
And he believes in all of this stuff about optimal and worth it. And I think that a lot can be made out of resources that don't look promising. He disagrees. So we had an agreement, and I thought I could. I can't believe I owe Thrawn money now. And she'll sort of just tap her comm. Go ahead. And at this point, while you don't necessarily know what's happening yet, I do want to get everyone on an initiative tracker.
Okay.
Da 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 da. Cool or vigilance?
You were all prepared because you were all expecting this to become a dangerous or combat situation.
You want to go ahead and pull up the initiative tracker?
Yeah, sorry. And I'm going to move you back somewhere where you've got tokens in case that
Yep.
helps. In this case, I think it doesn't because I think it just takes whether or not your sheet's an NPC or a PC.
Everyone make sure you have no difficulty set up or it'll roll incorrectly.
As I remember, I need to make an NPC version of Aki for this role.
I am at 1-1.
Well, we have a 1-1 slot. We also have a 4-0 slot, which is nice.
I'm pretty proud of that roll. I think that's the best I've ever rolled in this game.
I did not realize she has no ranks in cool.
It's okay.
That
Makes
is
perfect sense.
That's a 2-2.
No. That's a 4-2.
Okay, can you edit it or do you need me to?
I can edit. Mine was no, I cannot edit it.
Okay. Which one was yours?
Or the 2-2.
All right, that's
That's a
actually a
4.
4-2. Does that look right now?
Yes.
Cool.
Dark side in the house, yo.
So what we're saying is Ares and Helix get to shoot first.
I mean, whoever you want to be the first, where's this sheet? Did you know that Imperial Stormtroopers are shit at initiative if they're prepared? We're just going to use those two as the rolls.
0-0 and
Oh, for fuck's sake. Oops.
No.
I'll just correct those because it's not like they're rolling enough dice for it to matter. 0, 1, and 0, 0. Given that this is the instigating incident, it happens anyways. But you guys will have the first slot once this happens.
In fact, I
Okay.
think all of our slots should go ahead of theirs because they got 0, 1, 0, 1, and 0, 0.
Yep.
We have a 0, 2.
No, Aki got a 0, 2.
There,
She should have. Like, look at the initiative. You can also see this.
Yep, that is
Yeah.
0, 2.
She has a 0-2, but it's not one of the NPCs is mislabeled.
All right.
Oh,
Oh, I see what happened.
because we also had a
Yeah.
0, 2.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. There we go. The gray, cloudy skies seem to part as these small orbs that you've been seeing around, instead of just being a singular color as they are in indicator status, start to pulse different colors and seem to swarm with some kind of built-in energy source. Above what was previously deep gray skies and heavy cloud cover parts, and there is a large triangular ship hovering just barely above these buildings.
You hold off. I will get to you in a second, mister.
And
By triangular ship, do you mean drop ship or Star
I
Destroyer?
think
Star
Star
Destroyer.
Destroyer is what's being said.
it's a Star Destroyer. I realize that most of them are triangles, but this
Admiral
is
Thrawn does not travel in drop ships.
Oh, Thrawn's not here. I don't like
So-
you guys disrupting the plot that much.
Helix, I need you to kill Aki Torres.
No. That bitch mine.
Well, you have the first initiative, so
If you want to
Yeah.
take, if you want to take the first
Whoever
initiative,
The first initiative.
we get to
Yep.
just to clarify again
Yeah.
for initiative, we get initiative slots that we can then pick and choose each round who goes.
Right.
Though
Yeah. So-
only one of you can go
In
each turn
How
order in a
Yeah.
round.
how hard or how far away can I get to her this round?
If you want to walk over churning spikes and then try and jump on top of them, yes. However, she is hovering over a zone with like spikes that are currently stationary, but churn in a grinder form. So you'd need to probably use a gun if you wanted to get. You could definitely try and shoot her.
How high off the ground is this floating thing?
It's maybe 10 feet up, but it would potentially be possible to grab her legs given that she's still dangling
Oh
off.
no. I'm
Okay.
not grabbing the fucking legs. I am
Okay.
walking. I think Kat knows what's about to happen. I am walking up, the saber's coming out, and I am cutting the bottom off that floating
All right.
platform.
So as you walk across these, they are stationary, but they're still sharp grinders.
Okay.
I,
wait a minute.
I have a clarification question because I think Jeremy and I are misunderstanding.
You said I
some of the
could
thing.
grab legs without being at risk. So
No, I said
I'll be right back.
that she's hovering.
okay.
She's
Fine.
hovering up. If you
I'll be right
want
back.
to walk across the spikes, you'd have to then jump to get to where she is.
Okay, I understand.
Because her legs are down, you could probably grab them without jumping too high.
I understand. I'm
But
sorry.
you'd
I
be
thought
jumping well
I
on.
thought she was close enough to the edge that I could go for her without
No.
walking over my death.
Yeah, no.
This is where the saber throw force power is really useful.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried about that. Okay, hold on just a second.
Just to visualize, let me see.
Like, so
It's gonna be pink. She's on a platform roughly here. You
I'm
and
still-
the
we're
crowd are
still
probably
we're
around.
on, we're
Still
on,
on the
we're on
ship.
the ship right now.
Oh. Fuck. I thought I moved you guys. Wait, that is the wrong thing. Ignore that. That's something I did for Mara a while back. The little pink square is her floating platform. The red square is the death area. The
Okay.
green squares are buildings.
And I'm assuming this is not to scale, so I can't say like these are 10 feet squares or something.
No, this is not to scale, and it also doesn't have tokens on it. It's just generally this is what the town square's shape looks
Right.
because I don't feel like dealing with range bands in scale.
I mean, so it is not likely then that I can jump and grab onto the bottom of that floating platform.
Do you have force jump?
I don't have force jump. I mean just jump, like running jump.
A running jump would not get you there.
Okay.
Unless you're using supernatural abilities.
Okay, no, that's fine. That is perfectly fine. You know what? I am going to
Question. Strain damage and lethal damage are one and the same for mooks, correct?
If something doesn't have a separate strain threshold, which most minions and most adversaries don't, which are the two sort of mookish classes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. Good to know.
It's only
Notable characters will probably have their own strain
what?
versus physical.
You guys,
yeah,
I'm gonna
a
need
nemesis character would have.
I'm gonna need a minute to think. You two go. I will take 1-1.
All right.
Helix.
Well, first off,
There was a caved-in ceiling above your head,
yep.
2 dead stormtroopers, and kind of a sight line out.
So okay. So first off, over the comms. Declaration. Jez, we're probably going to need either evacuation or fire support very shortly. You may have noticed a Star Destroyer has appeared.
Yeah, caught that. Okay, I'm sure.
If it's her, if it's her Star Destroyer, it has explosives all over it. You can shoot and blow it up.
At this time, there don't seem to be explosives attached to the outside.
I wish that I had a big enough ion blaster. Second, I mean, Akitoris is such a good target, but I feel like Lux doesn't want me to just shoot her now.
Nope.
So, do I spy any sharpshooters among the Imperial forces?
You'd imagine they have some skill with gunnery, but they don't seem to be holding anything like a sniper rifle. They seem to be holding more
standard blaster rifles.
Yeah.
Well, let's just start eliminating targets then, shall we?
I assume you climb up onto the proper rooftop, not this layer below the roof that you're at.
Yeah, I'll climb up if I need to.
We did make an entryway.
Yeah, you did. I just didn't want to assume you were up there if you're not. You're at medium range from the next group over, though you can reach with long range the furthest away of the stormtrooper groups that you're.
All right.
It's 2 difficulty, long is.
Let's just begin.
I can take out the medium guys really what it's worth.
There's a bunch of medium groups. I'm assuming though. So
Yeah. Let me just try and mark where we have however many.
so we have.
Is that legible or are those too small?
Yeah, no,
That's
I
clear.
think-
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I like
So I'm assuming the 0 is the guys that we've killed.
Yeah, you're at 0.
Which means there's actually 2 guys that are on the same roof as we are. Just in the opposite corner.
Yep.
I will let I'll let Ares handle those. Which means I will go ahead and fire across the roof so that we can ensure that anyone who would have a good shot at us is just going to be dead.
All right, so medium range. They are a minion group, so when you aim at one, you're aiming at both of them.
Yep. Which means I can potentially kill them both with one shot.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and fire the disruptor rifle. Very dead.
4, 5, 6, 7. So 17 plus your crit.
Yeah, 17 plus vicious 5 plus a how many ranks do I have of lethal blow? So plus total of plus 60 on that critical hit roll.
All right. Before the crit, what's the total damage that does?
17.
Okay. Let me.
Still did almost twice as much damage to the roof underneath.
Yeah.
That's what autofire does, though.
Yeah, autofires.
Autofire is great. Not having to roll is also pretty useful. Yeah, so you just sort of are like, they don't quite see you. They're still sort of looking, scanning below where Ares is still standing. And you manage to make a single bullet just pass through both of their brains.
And then both of them become piles of slag because I'm using a disruptor rifle.
Yeah. Cling, 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 cling.
My turn.
Your turn.
I would like to go say hello to the other people that share our rooftop now.
Okay.
And then I would like to, while in short range, make them go away.
All right. Yeah, you can't get into engaged, but you can get into short.
Yep. Short range, difficulty 1. I'm going.
Or, well, you can. It just would take your maneuver to get into engaged.
Short range, I'm going to. 1. I'm actually going to use my true aim.
Or an addition.
My
Okay.
true aim maneuver. Both gives me a boost die and upgrades my attack roll. As well as you take my voluntary additional point of difficulty, my auto fire. Difficulty 2 with 1 boost die and 1 upgrade, firing at the guys that are on the other corner. Rooftop. Rapadoo. Auto fire requires 2 successes, so I hit them. I hit them for 26 points of damage.
Okay.
Actually, yeah. I hit them for 26, and then I'm going to sweep and hit these guys on the opposite building, but the same corner, for 13, because I can.
Right.
That would give me a second trigger of auto fire with those 2.
Okay. So the first group you entirely eliminate, as Helix did. that second group, one of them manages to sort of duck below the roof and probably sustain some hits, but only one of them is dead.
Let's just pop out, spread it, and then get in the corner.
Yeah. I'm kind of fudging the minion rules a bit because they're all distinct minion groups, but I'm just putting them on the same initiative because
Makes sense.
I'm lazy.
No, makes absolute sense.
Yeah. All right. Jeremy, you wanted the 1/1 slot, I
Yeah.
believe?
So, a couple things really quick in the comm.
Mhm.
Powder, get the people, get these civilians safe. And I'm walking up to the edge of Grindy Pit,
Mhm.
looking the bitch right in the eyes, and I am just going to try and flood just this unreasoning hate with the idea that she wants to come down and fight me. With influence, with these are not the droids you're looking for, except for you want to come beat me to death.
Okay. Please tell me you actually say and do that.
I mean, quietly, but yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to tip my hand to all of the people with guns that I might, they might not know. Aki might not have told them.
All right. So what role
So I
/
have to make,
difficulty
I
information
do a
is
force roll
that? Okay.
for goddamn. Okay, can you spend destiny points on force rolls? Excellent.
Yeah.
Light side point, which is weird because I want dark side results.
Those two things may share a term, but in that context, light side is POV's
Yep.
side.
And it is opposed by a discipline check.
Okay.
I wonder how good Akitorus' discipline check is.
We're about to find the fuck out.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna find out.
I'm assuming it's fairly good. This very well might not work, but I will also be.
Is there a difficulty, or is it?
It just says opposed roll, so I'm assuming both diff 2.
All right, yeah, that's
That
usually
tends
what
to be the
opposed roll
default.
means. Yep, opposed roll means that both roll at difficulty 2. I'm gonna spend a dark side point.
Oh wait, force rolls don't have difficulty, do they? It's just whether you get dark side or light side.
Yeah, that's why I was a little confused by an opposed roll
here's the
between a
exact
force roll and a character's attribute.
Here's the exact roll.
It depends
Or
on the
exact
ability.
wording.
Some abilities have rolls and some.
Yeah.
Oh. Wait a minute. Okay, I make a discipline check with force roll. The user makes an opposed discipline check against the target as part of the pool to activate the power.
Yeah, so you both make a decision.
That would make a lot more sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. I was just like,
okay.
There's no way you can win this if you're just rolling your force roll.
Yeah, no, legit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would get successes based on the
some force powers are just roll force dice to activate. Some force powers are make an actual skill roll.
Mm-hmm. Usually, if they're opposed, they're not just force dice against someone's stat, though.
That moment when I wish I had understood this better and spent points in discipline. Oh well.
Sorry, it's a complicated system.
It's okay. It's okay. I spent light side. We'll see how this goes.
And as I mentioned, I'm using a dark side to help Aki.
Yep.
It's difficulty 2 with an upgrade.
As we check like the 7,000 spots on the sheet that we need to check. All right.
That rolled correctly.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh man.
It's literally not even worth rolling the die.
Oh man.
Oh, look.
That is sad.
You press out and you can feel against your consciousness that slipperiness and that this person is impulsive. But then you get this overwhelming sense of someone who has been drilled since birth. Not just stormtroopers who tend to be very pliable to these abilities, but
Mm-hmm.
been created as a weapon of the Empire. And it doesn't seem like it takes effect at this time.
I mean, I would say it's fair to say it's not going to take effect. Period. Short
Right.
of miraculous rolling by somebody who doesn't roll miraculously, and the worst rolling ever by.
Yeah.
It's fine.
She did have an upgrade to that because, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not easy. Yeah.
That's fine. I'm still standing on the edge. She might just come down and try and beat me to death anyways.
Did you want to do anything with your maneuver?
I thought that was I walked up to the edge of the thing. I
Alright,
thought that was
yeah,
maneuver.
you're right.
That was
That is a maneuver. You can. I always forget to mention specifically taking strain. I assume, John, when you made your second maneuver, you took the strain for it, and you understand that's not resisted by armor and everything. Okay, yeah.
Yes.
As a refresher for everyone, when you're in combat, obviously your move is a maneuver, but you can take strain to do 2 maneuvers within a turn. And
there's a defensive thing that's a maneuver, right?
there is.
Yeah,
I do defensive
You
thing.
can take a defensive stance, which increases the difficulty. Either increase the difficulty or adds a setback.
John, do you mind flipping to that page and checking that?
I'm on it right now.
Thanks. Yeah. I lost my own cheat sheet. Oops. Kat. What's Powder doing?
Trying to get the closest civilians out of the way.
All right.
You can.
So how are you going about that?
Hold on, John. Do you want to finish?
I was saying, yeah, you can take cover, which just gives you a ranged defensive 1, which adds a setback die to any shots fired at you.
Well, I'm not taking cover because I'm direct.
Yeah, there's no cover to take.
You can also take the guarded stance, which is the same thing for melee attacks.
There you go.
Okay.
I mean, she's probably gonna shoot me, but that.
I mean, yeah.
How are you going about that, Kat?
Okay, so I'm assuming that we are like in this area.
Like, yeah, that's reasonable. Okay. Given where Helix positioned, or right. Helix and Ares positioned.
Okay. Powder is literally just going to put both arms out and start walking toward people and saying, "Please get back! Please get back! For your safety, please get back!"
Pull the Andre from Princess Bride. Get out of the way!
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody move!
Okay.
They were already trying to give the droid a wide berth, so you know.
Exactly.
Seeing if you can herd them. Success. Yep. I'm trying to figure out what role that is, because it's definitely a presence role.
Coercion?
One would hope they would have started running when the gunshots went off in the first place.
You'd think.
They go at the end of the initiative order because I don't feel like they have stats.
Oh yeah, no, that's fair.
Negotiation?
I would say coercion, because it's intimidation.
Yeah, this is not a give and take. This is a command. I'm going to go coercion over negotiation.
You say coercion or leadership?
I have a rank in leadership, at least.
From what you've described, it doesn't seem like you're trying to take a role of trust or leadership. It seems like you're just acting as a physical bulwark.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
All
just
right,
trying to get
everybody.
them away from the big hole in the ground.
You don't gotta go home, but you gotta get the hell out of here.
Yes. It is the end of the night at the bar. Let's go, people.
It's closing time.
Okay, coercion. What's my difficulty?
Difficulty of 2. I'm gonna say let's just make this an opposed roll with their.
All right, and I'm gonna use a light side point because why the hell not?
All right.
Upgrade on my side. Coercion difficulty 2. Anything else before I hit the button?
Not that I can think of, unless anyone's
All right.
got.
Come on. God damn. 2 threat.
So threats don't mean you fail. It just means that it doesn't go in a way that it does what you want.
Yep.
So you're trying to shepherd people away and sort of hold out your arm. Unfortunately, despite being substantially taller than most people here, you're also not very strong and fairly spindly. And your presence, while it was unsettling to them, is kind of dwarfed by the fact that that's a Star Destroyer, like, in spitting distance, and that's not a thing that people see every day. So it seems like most of them are too stunned to even respond. And you actually almost clunk your arm into one of them. You don't do any damage, because there's just this guy who's staring up like he's not quite sure he's processing the reality around him.
Yeah,
And
no, I get that feeling.
Doesn't even register you quite right now.
Okay.
There's just some of these people are definitely angling to run away, but you don't know if you've influenced anyone, just because there's such a bigger shock value around than you.
Yeah. Makes sense.
And that's going to make it the first NPC turn.
Can't get people to not look at the fireworks. I know.
I need to actually get back to pulling up that page. Sorry.
Welcome to the ASMR portion of our game.
What page in particular are you looking for?
Bless you.
The Star Destroyers page. So look, a month ago I had all of this really smoothly planned out, but then I started moving and a lot of my notes got shifted into moving boxes. That's right, it's in the other book.
Yeah. I'm looking up.
It's in Age of...
Yeah. 279 is the beginning of the Dreadnought class heavy. Or the Star Destroyer.
Thank you.
279 of... Which is where we find out what class of Star Destroyer this is.
Mm-hmm. God damn it, where's the... Pro tip, even if they're absurdly big files, don't remove the books from the game you're GMing from your hard drive.
Probably a good
You'll
idea.
never be able to find them in Google Drive fast enough. The Star Destroyer is going later while I use the character sheets I have. Sorry, guys. So Aki continues to let her legs dangle, and she's just like, she sort of stretches out. She seems to, she looks sort of at Lux. And then the yeah, that's her maneuver. The sort of plateau thing that the platform that she's been on sort of lowers and slides aids over, such that it is directly like there's only a slight step up between it and the ground where you are standing, Lux.
Okay.
She sort of moves to one side to lean against the railing. Come on. Enough.
Is this... Oh, dear.
She seems to be inviting you onto
Oh,
her
dear.
little,
She really is as crazy as Lux is dumb.
Yeah.
It
is worth knowing as a player, she definitely seems to have two quite dangerous droids with her that just cover at each side.
Oh, yeah.
Also, she was a regular in the fighting pit.
I know.
Yeah. You have reason to understand these things. It's your call what you do with that information.
I will respond on my turn.
Okay. That is where she is right now.
So easy just to sniper and leave.
I mean, if you want to snipe those droids, feel free. I think that might send her into the range that I was trying to send her into.
Yeah, we've got more stormtroopers to deal with, unfortunately.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of stormtroopers that seem to know whatever this plan is. None of them seem surprised or confused by what's happening. That's something all of you would be able to see if you wanted to.
Except the ones that died. I'm sure they're pretty surprised.
Yeah, they were confused by that. But things like the Star Destroyer appearing, things like Lux Xanaki's confrontation.
Their plan they're fine with. It's the where the fuck did these two come from part.
Speaking of stormtroopers, there's a fair number of them. They have slightly better stats because Aki's men are good at their job. Minion groups of 2. The ones that are groups of 2 are all going to fire first because adjusting the minion size is annoying.
If you give me the distance, I can tell you the math to hit me for each.
Yeah, okay. I was more trying to figure out how many are targeting each of you.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of... Actually, 2 groups are targeting each of you. All of them are at long range because these are the things that are further away. If that wasn't obvious, that's... The ones that are still 2 are the ones I was describing as being far enough away to be long range from you.
To hit either of us difficulty-wise will be 3 difficult.
Yeah, I know that part.
I add 3 setback.
All right. 3 difficulty. 3 setback dice. Minion groups of 2. Yeah, William, if you could look that up for me while I'm rolling the ones that are aiming at John.
Sure.
Thanks. You might have like an armor or a shield rating that's not just like what you absorb, but instead what you.
Any points of ranged defense have add setback
Yeah.
dice.
My range defense is 1. Also, actually, I will upgrade the difficulty of their attack roll on me by taking 1 point of soak with my dodge incidental.
Okay.
Or
One
1
point
point
of
of strain,
strain.
rather.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that too.
Alright.
Probably wiser for me to take 1 point of strain than yeah. So I upgrade all incoming range attacks by 1 by sidestepping.
All right. So 1 upgrade, 3 setbacks, 3 difficulty, correct?
Yes.
And is that an incidental you can take for everyone that's attacking you this turn, or just the first?
It's once per round may perform a sidestep maneuver and suffer a number of strain to upgrade difficulty of all incoming range attacks by an equal number.
Okay.
I take 1 strain.
Up to your ranks in the dodge maneuver.
You can note strain. That's for dodge. For sidestep, it's just all of them, and I can do it more if I have more ranks.
All right.
Dodges each attack. You have to choose whether you're going to dodge.
Okay. So we're doing John's first.
Check and see. Dodge might be melee attacks.
Now, when targeted by combat check.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, sidestep is only.
Dodge is a little more versatile, but it is a little more circumstantial too.
Sidestep is the thing that Han did in the edited version of.
Yeah.
I think that still hits.
Yeah, that's 9 points. That's 10 points of damage.
Yeah.
I absorb 6.
That first group will take 1 strain damage, which is damage from its threat. And you take 9 plus 2. It didn't crit. I know your armor absorbs some of that. It is strain damage. It has a stun setting that's not in use.
I got it.
Second one at John. That'll miss. So ignore the advantage. All right, so Helix, do you have any shields that produce setback dice?
I do not. I just have my defense is 1.
All right, there's 2 groups of stormtroopers aiming at you. Do you want to dodge either of them?
I will dodge one of them, yes.
Okay.
Actually, I'll dodge both of them. So upgrade
All right.
both of those.
And that's an upgrade, correct?
Yeah, it's an upgrade to the difficulty.
Okay.
And 1 back for the defense.
All right. The first one hits, though. Oh, the guy that gets it off seems to duck a little too fast and bump his head, taking some damage from shooting you.
All right, and I soak 2 of that, so that'll be
9 damage.
Yeah, so that'll be 7.
First success just says you hit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. And you were dodging both of them, correct?
Yes.
All right. That one will also hit for 10 damage this time.
Those should both have 1 setback die. Because got a range defense.
All right, I'll re-roll them. Sorry. Never mind.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I like that the guy that hit his head still hit his head.
Because if both of those had hit me, I probably would be out. So that's good.
Yeah.
You should take cover.
Yeah. I consistently try and rule that you re-roll the entire thing if you mess it up, because otherwise it gets too complicated in roll 20.
Yeah.
But that sometimes means that my really good rolls become a whole bunch of failures when I re-roll for real.
Because I don't have a whole lot of wounds. I'm an assassin. I'm not meant to take hits.
Yeah.
It turns out
So
that first
he
guy-
like you feel those two get dangerously close to hurt it.
Enough to frazzle the sensors.
Yeah. Yeah. So those two and you know what? Actually, that's perfect timing. As it becomes the turn of the Star Destroyer that's in combat with a group of decently high level players and a whole bunch of civilians.
in
That's
combat.
where we're gonna end for the night.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.